Today on the AM Show, I talk to you about how I, Marcella Dominguez, host of the AM Show, has built a trademark law firm from home while raising 3 small kids, and how working from home can work for you too. This is the AM Show with Arts Music Lawyer, where ambition and motivation meet persistence and drive, where your wildest dreams come true and even the greatest possibilities become realities. Listen to people just like you who stay authentic to who they are and master the art of their craft. Are you sharing the art of you? The art of you is music to my ears. Stay focused, stay on track. Create a new lifestyle with ambition and motivation. The AM Show.
Who is Marcella Dominguez? What is your name and what do you do for a living?
Marcella Dominguez. I am a trademark lawyer and a mom.
What is a trademark lawyer?
A trademark lawyer means that I help entrepreneurs or anybody starting a business. I help them how to choose their name and to choose a name that's good for protection purposes so that nobody else can use that name.
What does being a mother mean to you?
My gosh, infinite love.
How do you manage being a mom and a lawyer?
I get asked this question pretty often. It's not easy. There's really no such thing as balance, but I try to dedicate as much of my time when they are not here to working. And when they are here, I try to be present. I try.
What's your experience working from home?
I always thought that working outside of home was going to be my life. And I think working from home, I really love it. I love that I can take care of myself and my health and dedicate myself to my clients.
How do you stay motivated?
I think that motivation is internal. So I'm not motivated by how pretty or not pretty I look when I'm out talking to a client. Of course, I will respect my client and dress up, and I dress in the way that I would expect to maybe also be received by somebody. But motivation for me doesn't come from how much makeup I put on or how expensive my clothes is. For me, my motivation is very intrinsic, and it's very dependent on how much I can get done when my kids are not home.
Do you have any advice for moms who want to start their home business?
There's nothing more motivating and nothing more special than to be able to provide for your kids and show them that you can work as a mother, whether it means working at home or outside the home. And so more than anything, I think that when you do it for yourself and you allow yourself to achieve results that you never believed you could achieve, I think that is the most rewarding part.
What did you do before working from home?
That's a great question. I actually got my feet wet doing criminal law, and that was immediately before I decided to do trademark law permanently. But before I graduated from school, I was required to do an internship, and I always thought I wanted to do entertainment law. The closest I got to entertainment law was doing intellectual property. So I interned with a IP attorney here in El Paso, Texas, and that is how I discovered IP. And let me tell you, if entertainment law is what I think it is, I think that IP law is equally entertaining and fun.
Why did you decide to work from home?
As I already mentioned, I have 3 kids, and you do whatever it takes to provide for your 3 kids and also take care of them. And so not too long ago, I still had my youngest with me at home, and I thought, I want to make this work. I'm going to make this work. And I made it work. And so right now I'm at a point where either I can decide to move to an office or continue to build my business virtually and expand it virtually.
Tips for starting a home business.
I think that the 3 top tips I can give people who want to start businesses from home, whether you're a working mom or working dad and you're at home with your kids, is to definitely make sure that you have a passion for something in particular. So even if you don't know what that passion is, I know it sounds a little confusing, know that you have to have a passion for for starting the business. And if you know that you have a passion, then that's number one. Number two, I would say, is just because you have a passion doesn't mean that you're going to be motivated. And so make sure that you're going to have the motivation that is going to allow you to maintain momentum. Because for a lot of people, not leaving the house and working at home and having the TV in front of you and having your refrigerator at arm's length can be distractions. So make sure that those are not going to be distractions for you. The third tip I would say is to be patient, because success doesn't come overnight. It rarely does come overnight. And in order for you to be dedicated and committed to your passion, you have to allow that to come with time and effort.
Go to dinner on a busy day.
Oh my gosh, the fastest thing is either I call something in to like a restaurant, like Applebee's, Chili's are my favorite local Mexican restaurant. Or if not, if I have eggs and beans, then an egg and bean burrito.
How do you manage speaking to clients when your kids are rowdy?
Well, I lock myself in the closet. And I'm not joking. Well, I don't lock myself in there, but I either go into the closet so that the clothes around me, muffles out any noise. Or I go to the garage, and that's not usually the first place they look. So it's either the closet or the garage, or I go outside. I've gone outside on the sidewalk for walks, and my youngest has followed me, yelling my name, and so I just cross my fingers at that point that my client is okay with it.
Where are your clients located?
Most of my clients I deal with virtually, and so it's really nice because there are so many virtual tools out there where you can communicate with people no matter where they are.
Any memorable clients?
I'm always fascinated by the clients who have tremendously successful stories. For example, I've had a couple of Amazon sellers who probably make a couple of million in a year. And the reason I find that so fascinating is because I think virtual businesses are underestimated. So I think that too many people believe that you have to leave your home, that you have to work for somebody else, that you have no choice but to help somebody else achieve their dream, when in reality you can achieve your own dream and you can do it virtually, because most people are on their phones nowadays. Most people are behind their computers. So what better way to reach them than you also being behind your phone and you also being behind your computer.
Easiest way to stay in touch with clients?
I think it's really easy. Whenever you need to contact somebody, most people don't like to be called on the phone anymore anyway, because either they're limited with time, and so the easiest and fastest way, of course, is email. And most business owners respond to email very quickly. So no, it's been pretty easy.
When does a home business become real?
Listen, in my opinion, if you are committed to the grind that it takes on a daily basis, and you're making money from that grind, and you have an end goal in mind, that's real. And you're providing for your family, that's real. Because nobody else is going to be in your shoes, committed to the grind, committed to providing for your kids or your family except for you.
Can other lawyers work from home?
That's a great question. I think that there are certain types of lawyers that are required to be in court more often, whether it's a justice of the peace court, municipal court, county court, district court, or federal court. So I think that when they're not in court, I guess they could have a home business and visit clients there, but their staff, of course, would have to be there while they're in court so that somebody could be with your clients.
What is your ethnicity?
I'm Hispanic. I grew up in El Paso, Texas, but my family is from Mexican descent, so I am Hispanic.
And you cook Mexican food?
Well, I know how to make burritos, and I have beans in the house all the time. pretty stable. And I don't say that just because I'm Mexican. I say that because no matter what ethnicity or background you are, I think it's a fact that beans are pretty healthy. But let's see, what other Mexican food can I make? I don't know, but I can tell you my favorite food is probably flautas with a lot of guacamole.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Thomas Cooley Law School in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It is now known as Western Michigan University. So I was done with school in 3 years, which is the standard amount of time for which most people have to be in law school. So 3 years and then plus study time for the bar.
What is the bar?
The bar is the bar exam. So it's the exam it's the state exam that you have to take in order to become licensed to practice law.
Why did you decide on sharing information with other entrepreneurs?
Well, I share my information with entrepreneurs, but I also share it with other lawyers because, there was a point in time where I didn't consider putting myself out there virtually. So I figured if I had that problem, not even thinking it was a problem, then I'm sure other attorneys have that problem too. And I know that people generally, whether they're lawyers or not, don't necessarily like to put themselves in front of a camera all the time. And so putting yourself out there virtually, putting yourself in front of a camera, being comfortable talking about your passions, being comfortable knowing that people are going to dislike you, all of those are components that no one ever talked to me about. So I feel like by sharing my information and watching other people do it, I'm slowly starting to realize that you have to have a pretty thick skin to work virtually.
How do you approach entrepreneurs for your podcast?
That's a great question. I simply ask them. So if I read a story that I find very fascinating or motivating or just inspirational, then I feel a need to reach out to them so that I can talk to them and ask them my own questions. Or if I see someone on social media who I think has a very interesting story or background, I'll follow them. I want to listen to what they have to say. I want to know how they got to where they are. And the reality is that the only way to learn is by asking questions. And so that's what I do best as a lawyer. So I simply just ask them.
Where can your podcast be found?
My podcast is on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and all you have to do is search for my name, Marcella Dominguez, with 2 L's, and it's called The AM Show, and it stands for The Ambition and Motivation Show.
What do you enjoy doing in your me time?
My me time is reading, and my me time is exercising.
What do you like to read?
Oh yeah, I read mostly business books and anything to help grow business.
Your favorite exercise?
I used to do kickboxing all the time, and so now when I have a chance, I like to watch, YouTube kickboxing videos. I also watch the Tone It Up girls who do really nice yoga on the beach, and it's really relaxing. I also do Zumba sometimes. I love dancing, and so if I can incorporate that into a workout, it's like one of the best workouts ever. But I like exercising.
Do you like going out?
I used to I still do actually love to go out. I don't do it as often as I should, but I love socializing, and I don't drink, and even when I used to, it wasn't very much. It was just maybe like 1 drink. But I like to go out mostly to socialize, not necessarily to drink and forget what happened last night.
Do you think personality is important when growing your business?
Yes, actually, I think that personality, and I should say specific personality traits, are very important in any business. It doesn't matter whether you work from home or outside of the home, but I think that some of the most important traits are enthusiasm and respect. Because I think that if you have enthusiasm, respect, and also determination, a very determined team member, I think that's a great combination, and you can teach that person anything and they'll go far.
Which of your personality traits helped you get to where you are?
Oh, that is a great question. I've been told that I'm pretty determined and pretty motivated. I'm committed. I'm committed to growing. I'm committed to growing 1,000% actually. So definitely commitment and motivation.
How do people find you online?
I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you just look for Arts Music Lawyer, all as one word, Arts Music Lawyer, or Marcella Dominguez with 2 L's, you can just Google me and my channels will pop up.
Thank you for watching.